Look at what happened.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the JoBluemann channel, where we talk about news, views and reviews. And obviously at the top of the list is Donald Trump's shooting or attempted assassination. We'll be discussing that quickly. But before we go ahead, please remember to like, subscribe and share the content. It's the only way the channel can grow.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this.
So my first question is, how did the FBI, the CIA, the Secret Service, all these places not know that there was going to be an assault on Donald Trump or attempted assassination on Donald Trump? That's the first thing. Second thing is, how did he get so close to Donald Trump? They say it's out of the perimeter, but the building that he scaled, how did they not pick it up in the first place? How did they not see him when there's clear videos where people are saying that they're screaming that the guy's lying there getting ready to shoot at Donald Trump. They're seeing him crawl on the roof. So it's a bit dodgy, you know. Here goes the old conspiracy theory stuff. But I mean, if you look at all these things and put it all together, you know, it's another JFK type of scenario. Again, obviously we need to go back and look at the Telegraph in the UK so we can get the real story behind the story. President Bullseye comments, labels dangerous and irresponsible following shooting at Pennsylvania rally. So those of you who don't know, Donald Trump was shot, or attempted assassination. What they're talking about here is a comment that Joe Biden made, I think in private to a couple of people, and it came out, and he referenced a bullseye because there's no other way of stopping Donald Trump. It made reference to that. And I'll play you a couple of other clips of a couple of psycho people who also called for Biden to, take rid of Donald Trump.
If I was Biden, I'd hurry up and have Trump murdered on the basis that he is a threat to America's security. That's David Aronovich. I mean, this is someone that people, obviously mostly in the UK, watch on the BBC and know him to be a household name. And here he is calling for the murder of Donald Trump, but he is just one of many. Check out this actress. She's from a show which you may or may not have heard from called Orange is the New Black. It was a pretty big mega series. Millions of people have watched it. And she decided to post this video on her social media calling on Biden to be that assassin.
Joe, you're a reasonable man. You don't want to do this, but here's the reality. This is a war. This is a war now, and we are fighting for our country. And these are going to take it away. They're going to take it away. Joe, you now have the right to take that Trump out. Take him out, Joe. If he was Hitler and this was 1940, you'd take him out. Well, he is Hitler and this is 1940. Take him the out.
Republicans have blamed Joe Biden for Donald Trump's shooting at a rally on Saturday after the US president said it was time to put Trump in the bull's eye. Okay, so he definitely said it. Trump's allies accused Mr. Biden of whipping up opposition to his rival in recent days in comments that they said had encouraged the shooter. 8 Republicans have blamed Mr. Biden directly for the shooting, while a further 21 have blamed critics of Trump for more general. Like I said, the 21's a bunch of wankers who's too scared to say anything to Biden. I don't know. Yeah, the typical politicians. Steve Scalise, a senior Republican in the House of Representatives, said, "For weeks, Democrat leaders have been fueling ludicrous hysteria that Donald Trump winning re-election would be the end of democracy in America. Clearly, we've seen far-left lunatics act on violent rhetoric in the past. This incendiary rhetoric must stop." Wesley Hunt, a Texas congressman, pointed to remarks by Mr. Biden in 2022 when he said Trump was a threat to the very soul of this country. "This is the rhetoric that leads to political violence," Mr. Hunt said. Well, unless they actually paid the shooter or he's connected to the CIA or the FBI, who knows? There's shit going on January 6th, who knows, you can never know. People in the FBI walking around telling people to go into the building, this mass insurrection that happened, Keith Self, who represents the same state, said, "Every American should be outraged at Joe Biden for inciting violence against Donald J. Trump." Here we go, inciting violence. Oh, wasn't that the favorite word that the Democrats, inciting violence on. I remember looking at CNN and MSNBC, and you'd get the hosts saying exactly the same words over and over and over, and it's an insurrection, and Donald Trump was inciting violence when he made his speech. So, now they're going to, hopefully they get back some of what they were giving out. This isn't some unfortunate incident. This was an assassination attempt by a madman. Why the fuck do they always need to bring mad people into the thing? Crazy people are not always the people wanting to shoot people. Okay? I'm mentally unstable. Okay, let's be very clear about that. I don't go out and try and shoot presidents. Okay. Maybe this guy was just a fucking Democrat. But now we get news to say that from the FBI and sources and so on, he's a registered Republican, but he gave money to Biden in the previous election. Now, the fuck does that make any sense? But anyway, that's just me. That's just crazy people thinking, conspiracy theory shit. J.D. Vance, a senator who is on the shortlist to be Trump's running mate in this year's presidential election, said the events at his rally in Pennsylvania were not just some insulated incident. The rhetoric led directly to President Trump's attempted assassination. Tim Scott, a Republican senator from South Carolina who is one of Trump's biggest cheerleaders, added, "Let's be clear, this was an assassination attempt, aided and abetted by the radical left and corporate media." Several Republicans pointed out to comments by Mr. Biden on a call with donors earlier this week, in which he said Trump should be put in a bull's eye. That's where that comes from. We're done talking about the debate. It's time to put Trump in a bull's eye, he reportedly said. That's sort of direct. Chrysler Civita, the co-chairman of Trump's campaign, suggested the shooting had been carried out by the same people who prosecuted the former president in the hush money case earlier this year. No shit, Sherlock, the Democrats. For weeks, leftist activist Democrat donors have now been, of even the President of the United States, have made disgusting remarks. He told the Washington Post, "It's high time they be held accountable for it." These guys can be so glad that fucking bullet just hit his ear, because otherwise you would have been in the middle of a fucking war at the moment. Mr. Collins, a GOP congressman from Georgia, claimed that Mr. Biden had sent the orders and called for him to be prosecuted. Marjorie Taylor Greene, a hard-right representative for Georgia, said the Democrats and the media are to blame for every drop of blood spilled today. For years and years, they've demolished Trump and his supporters. Mr. Biden has been battling to keep hold of the Democrat nomination for 2 weeks after his disastrous televised debate performance against Trump led to fresh concerns about his age and health. His campaign has pushed the message that Trump would pursue a radical agenda if he won a second term. Framed the election as a choice between democracy and authoritarianism. Speaking after the shooting, the US president called for unity and condemned it as sick. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and down well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who were at the rally as we await further information, he said. Now you watch this. Every fucking conservative that owns a gun will be having that gun plus his dead daddy's gun, his dead mommy's gun in every one of his cars, and they'll be carrying along one with them everywhere that they go. The next sign of shit